Good afternoon. It's January the 11th, 2017. Time to kick off another trading day. Wrap it up. I mean, not kick it off. Hypothetical simulated performance results have certain limitations, unlike actual performance records. Simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general also subject to the fact that they are designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Okay, we came in this morning on the E-mini. We had a 55.57 buy. That's buy one. That means our number 2 sell is the area that we want to get into. And that was sell 2. Briefly, we had 64, 66. This was sell 1. Produced a point, maybe a 2-point trade. As far as the trades go, positive. No trade here. Trade for a point. Little triple top, positive. Mean green. Positive to the tune of 1 to 2. This was the trade of the day. This is when Trump press conference started and he banged Lockheed and Big Pharma. Quadruple top, value area high. Positive. S. No worse than a scratch. Positive. These two B's positive. So reasonable day trading the E-mini. We did have some volatility to work with, and you can see the volatility was to the downside, not to the upside. So we caught the edges pretty well. 55, 57 we had a low. 54.50 we had a high, I think, of 69.50, 15 points. And you had that information in your hands bright and early. Life is good. Now all you have to do is figure out how to utilize that information, right? Lower high, lower low. Says the market can trade lower tomorrow. Looking at the F2 screen. Pretty square. If we put that W split in there, leaning P, volume above time. So we got a buyer below 2260 and we've got a seller above 2270. We've got a piece, so we might anticipate that we're trading higher. Tomorrow's import-export prices up 0.7 for import, up 0.2 for export. That the price of crude oil. And we have nat gas inventories. Last week it was minus 49 BCF. This week is probably closer to 200 BCF because of the cold weather we experienced across the United States. So not much in the way of news tomorrow. So 69, 71, sell 1. 74, 76, sell 2. On the buy side, we wrapped. So 60, 62, buy 1. 55, 57 by 2. Trump's inauguration, maybe the first 2 weeks after it, the stock market will be looking for implementation of his proposed and trying to guesstimate when it's going to come. If Trump's proposals do get through, 12 to 18 months to see the economic benefits of them. And but remember, stock market prices reflect prices 6 to 9 months out. So that's the way you just, futures are futures. And we're not talking about yesterday's prices, we're talking about anticipated tomorrow's prices with futures. Stocks too. Okay, looking at the 10-year. Higher low. Actually, it's an outside day. So that means trading range tomorrow with a 30-year auction. That's probably pretty accurate. Given the strong 3 and 10-year, it's a yield play. I think the 30-year is going to be pretty well accepted too. 10-year was all over the map today. We had if we do an I split with the auction, we're dealing with the B. If we combine the whole day, it's leaning P with volume way above time inside the congestion area. It's really hard. There's more volume above the halfway point in the value area, so it's a pretty tough call on 10-year off of the distribution shape. Okay, last rotate up stopped at 28, and we're currently at 25. 30-year, I think the 30-year will be sold to set it up for tomorrow, so sell 1, 27 to 31, 3 to 7, sell 2, which is where we were today. On the buy side, 17 to 21, buy 1, 9 to 13, buy 2. Not much in the way of news tomorrow. I don't see how anybody can watch the cable or mainstream media news shows anymore. I mean, I don't watch them because all I do is look at the screens all day long, but the few times I do tune into them, I mean, it's just a rehash, and a lot of times it's just a shouting match. It just doesn't make a lot of sense anymore to waste time watching that junk. Okay, 28 to the buck, number 1, 3 to 7, sell 1. I like to get short in London, and then 11 to 15, sell 2. On the buy side, last rotate down stopped at 21, so we'll make 16 to 20, number 1. 9 to 13, buy 1. 1 to 5, buy 2. My oldest daughter is taking the coward's way out. She's in Belize for a week. She gets paid for going down there. It's a pretty nice gig. She works as a consultant, and she's in Belize every 2 to 3 months. Interesting how she was hired. She's a production consultant for the fashion industry and specializes in getting stuff made in Italy, China, Cambodia, Vietnam, places like that. And so she was recommended by a friend of one of the principals as a good person for that job to coordinate a lot of disparate information and processes and actual jobs, and she's done a very good job at it. They've got one more resort to build after this, but part of the perks are, she lives in Venice, California, so heading down to Belize may not be that big a deal as it would be for somebody that lived in Duluth, Minnesota this time of year. But it is a pretty nice gig. Okay, looking at gold, we said the best resistance is 1200, so last rotate up stopped at 93, and then we've got a 96 and a 97, so we'll be selling 93s to 95s. I think we get through that, we're going to the buck, then 99 to 01 for sell 2. Stopped at 83 on that rotate down, so 84, 86, buy 1. That's where we were this morning. Then 79 to 81, buy 2. Crude oil all over the map today. Don't be surprised to see an article out tonight on OPEC production cuts, or that Iraq, Iran, Libya, Nigeria, everybody else is cheating, is going to adhere to the agreed upon production quotas. So 52.75 to 53.75 is prime sell territory. We matched yesterday's lows. We came back, so we got a higher high. So best resistance is 53.75. We got pretty good support, 50.75. And pretty strong P. We got volume up at 52.55. We had a great trade. I hope some of y'all caught that when we talked about profit taking because the market rallied all day. We could have been as short as high as 61, and it produced a great trade. I think eventually we traded down almost to 52 bucks. So 52.50, 52.75, sell 1. 53 and a quarter, sell 2. On the buy side, 51.75, 52, buy 1. And 51 and a quarter, 51.50, buy 2. My gut feel is that we got a little more work to do to the downside in crude, but it may not happen tomorrow. And last but not least, the euro. Raul reported really good trades in the euro today. It is a good, it's got the volatility we need to prosper. E-mini just doesn't give us a lot of back and forth. I think it's great big, well, not huge moves, but 5 to 10 points quickly, and then it dies again. Lower high, lower low in the euro, and then it comes roaring back. And what a range. Monster. Okay, last rotate up stopped at 106.9.5 or 598, so give it a little room. So 615, 6 and a quarter, sell 1. 650 plus or minus, sell 2. On the buy side, we stopped above the Globex high right there, so 575, buy 1. Got a lot of range to work with. And then 550, buy 2. And we'll see if that works out. That's it, folks, for January the 11th. Had a good day of trading once again. Software work. Our trades turned out to be pretty good. And I'll see y'all bright and early in the morning. Y'all have a great evening.